All right, so igniting your score. How do we ignite the credit score? Because we want to go up, up, up on our credit score, and we don't want to have a low score. So what are the things that improve our credit score the most? Well, again, number one on the top left here is to make all payments on time. That's the number one factor. You also want to make more than the minimum payment or pay off your credit cards. And so it's showing that, yeah, he only has to pay $35, but he's paying $50. And so that shows to lenders that this person has extra income. They're not strapped. They're not, paycheck to paycheck. You want to keep your loan balances low. Again, 30% or under is what you want to be at. You want to keep your older accounts open so that that length of credit history is there. You want to limit the number of credit cards you have. So again, if you have multiple credit cards and some of those are store cards, I would look at the two longest standing cards that you have, and maybe there's a great bank card that you have that you use all the time, and then there's other ones that are kind of not as long or they're store cards, and you might want to close those cards. Then you don't want to open any unnecessary revolving credit accounts. So no new things, especially store cards. Just keep and use what you have, and you can see how much it costs you per month by lowering your score and having a bad score. So saving on $80 at the store and saving 25%, which is $20, is going to hurt you more even that month, possibly that month, but definitely over the next few months and years, in your credit score and how much more things are going to cost you than you're going to save with that one-time 25 to 35% discount. So please, again, I've been harping on this, but don't open store cards just to get a discount that one time. So good credit score equals lower premium. So what do you want to do? You want to be reviewing your credit report. You want to keep your credit lines open. Again, maybe there's some you can close. Again, those store cards, especially if you just recently opened those. You want to pay down debt. You want to reduce the hard credit pulls. You want to pay bills on time. You want to do all these different things. And so this is kind of a nice graphic here that shows that what a high achiever does and what the improver is trying to do. And on the left side, the high achievers, 96% of them have no late payments, none. On average, they only use 7% of their credit limit. So remember, I said 30% or lower, they're only using 7% on average. They owe less than $3,500 total on all credit cards, and their credit history length on average is 25 years. So you can see how those play into effect to raise your score to the 800 versus if you have less of, not as long of a length of credit history, or if you have more money on your cards, or you're using more than 30% of your credit limit, or if you have some late payments. Those are things that are going to ding you and hurt your credit score. Okay, now let's talk about how do you get your credit score? How do you get your credit report? How do you figure out what's going on and monitoring it? Because another thing that's happening a lot is with all of these breaches from Equifax to Target to others, a lot of our information, personal information, is out there, and you don't want to be, you don't want to have your identity stolen. And so we're going to talk about how to keep that from happening. So you want to obtain a free credit report at least once a year. Another thing you could do is, because you get a free credit report from each of your 3 credit bureaus. And so just to show you the 3 credit bureaus, that's Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And so what you could do is you could get a credit report from all 3 of them once a year, or you could kind of spread those out, and every 4 months you could pull one. And that way every 4 months the year is up for the next one. And so some people put those on their calendar, just say pull my credit report. They do creative things like pull it on 2/2, 6/6, and 10/10, and that's kind of 4 months apart to help them remember. But you definitely want to think about and pull your free credit report. If you've never done it, I recommend pulling all 3 and seeing what's on there, because there are some variations between them. And then after that next year, you can start pulling it once every 4 months. Now, the best place and the only place really to get your free credit report that shows everything on there is annualcreditreport.com. You can see that on the top of the screen. There's annualcreditreport.com. You go there, put in your information. It asks you if you want to be pulling your credit from Equifax or Experian or TransUnion or all three. It's going to ask you some questions in order to determine that you're you and ask you about in the past 8 years, which of these cars have you owned? And it's going to put up different cars and stuff like that. Which of these addresses is not one that you've lived at in the last 10 years? And so it goes back quite far, and sometimes it strains our memory on some of those. But if for some reason that doesn't work, then you can always go to the number there, 1-877-322-8228. You can also mail the annual credit report request form that's shown on the screen there as well.